going on YouTube. I got a lot of people asking me what's better for them, Spotify or iTunes, Apple Music. And I'm going to just run down a few reasons why I think, both of them are necessary, but which one you should be building first to get your fans popping and whatnot. Now, obviously, Spotify got the biggest foothold in the game. They got the biggest fan base. So you definitely want to use Spotify for that reason, because you can get more fans that way. And as far as like Apple Music is concerned, a lot of people is just now starting to use it. And Apple is a paid service, so you have to pay to use it. Whereas Spotify has a free service. So you got to know that there's people who can't really afford to pay the monthly. That's the reason why they got more listeners on Spotify. So you definitely want to build up your Spotify because you want to get your profile to look good enough for the people who want to go check your music out and whatnot. Spotify got the verified profile, which is good to help you be authenticated online and social media. And you can build your followers up and make sure that you can continue to build your Spotify. I mean, Spotify got a setup where you can build it up without even needing Twitter or Facebook to do so. You just get a whole bunch of people to follow you on Spotify, and then you get them to listen to all your new records every time you drop a new record. Apple Music is cool. It's good because iTunes is on its way out the door in the next 2 years. Even though Apple denies it, we all know that the download sales are starting to plummet. And so eventually when something that was good stops working, they get rid of it. And they came up with a new thing, which is Apple Music. It's supposed to compete with Spotify, but of course it doesn't have as much foothold in the game because it's brand new and they wasn't doing it already. Like Spotify have been doing it for quite some time. The good thing about Apple Music that's not good about Spotify is that Apple Music actually pays more. I've had clients who show me their royalty statements, and their royalties for Spotify, they have to get 4 or 5 times more plays to get the same money for Apple Music. So that's something to consider. If you are having a hard time getting fans, then you might want to use Apple Music because it'll pay you more quicker with a smaller fan base. Whereas when you get a larger fan base, most of your fans will probably be listening to your music on Spotify because there's just more people using Spotify. Also, Spotify is worldwide, and so is Apple Music, but a lot of people all over the world use Spotify since it was a UK brand in the first place. But I typically tell people to start off with Spotify because there's more chance that somebody will discover your music there. And then once you get your followers built up to a certain point, a couple thousand, you get verified and go on over to Apple Music and start promoting that and get your foot up, get your music up and get it popping so you can be able to get your royalties coming in and whatnot. And now if whichever one you decide to use, we do both of them. My company do Spotify and we can do Apple Music. So if you struggling to get streams, struggling to get plays, you want to get on some playlists, make sure you hit subscribe and check out my website in the description. All right, peace.